Well, hello everyone. Hope you guys are all out there being safe and everything. I'm out here in the Arizona desert. It's probably only about 9:30 in the morning, but I tell you what, sun is up and it's starting to get warm. Number one question I get asked a lot is, where do I find gold at, or where do I dig at? I'm out here in some of the washes. I'm going to be doing some dry washing. But what I'm going to do is just kind of walk up here and maybe give you some ideas where you could dig at to find some of that yellow gold. But anyways, hey, thanks for coming along, and hey, please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate that there. So let's go see if we can find us any gold. Well, this is a Maine Wash right here coming down. There's several of these washes that are running through this claim right here. We are on a private claim. But if you look at this here, now you're looking for some place to dig. Of course, you want some gravels. You can see there's a little starter wash kind of coming down right here, ties into the big wash right there. You don't see any evidence of anybody digging up through here, which is in a way could be a good sign, or yet it could be a bad sign. A lot of quartz. You see quartz every place, so you know that's always a good sign. You got these gravels, that's always a good sign. Walking up in through here though, you see a little evidence here and there, but see now here's some bedrock right here. And you'll see some more harder pack, so you can see where it's kind of where it washes down through here and then it blows itself out and puts a little pile right there. So there's nothing stuck in there, but this makes a bend. This is turning right here, and this keeps going straight this way. So once upon a time this used to come this here, and as the water and that started to recede for whatever reason, it pushed it over this way. Maybe this tree grew up and that's what caused it to start going this way. So it started pushing it that way, then it just started just moving all the material over here. So you could start right here and just kind of work your way this way and tie into where it once used to go straight, and maybe find some nice old that yellow gold. Look at that bug right there. You know, say they have those murder hornets coming through. Well, these Arizona tarantula killers, whatever these are here, we got a surprise for those. They'll take care of them. There's another one of those. Well, the reason nobody's got into this part of the wash right here is because there's no road just coming right into it. So I just kind of went off the beaten path and just drove right in here because I want to check out this new area here. Got some couple other claim members. They're digging up above. Up there, they're setting up their dry washer up there. We'll go check them out here in a little bit. Look at this right here. See that? That's copper ore. I don't know if that came from here or if it was brought in and dropped down over in here. I walked up this wash, I could kind of see where it looked like it was scraped a little bit right here, and for some reason they piled the dirt up there, and I'm not sure why they piled the dirt up there, but that's one of the only evidence I saw digging through here. So this is where I dug at a little bit last time I was out here, and I found some decent gold. So I'm going to go down further down in there. There's some bedrock right there. I'm going to go through that bedrock and see what I can find. I'm going to be using the Keen. This is a Keen puffer. That's what I'm going to be using today, is the Keen. But I'm going to bust down through here, further down, and see what I can find. Once upon a time, this used to come straight down through here, and this has all started to pile up right through here. And then it's made a bend around here. So there's bedrock right there, hard pack bedrock, and that forces, once it hits that, it just forces everything over to this way. So I'm going to rake off that right below that bedrock right down there. That's what I'm going to run first, and then I'll just pan that out real fast and test that. And then I'm going to come back over here, because right under here I went through all this overburden and I got down into the bedrock, and that's just coming apart, so I can just pick it apart there, and then I'm going to run the dirt in there and see what we can find. We'll see what these guys up here are doing. What are you guys doing up here?
Preparing the surface.
Preparing the surface?
Preparing the dig.
Just going to pick a bunch of it up so we can turn this dry washer on and
You gonna dry wash, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, all right.
We're just too hot.
Why don't you get it started, Darren? Let's throw some dirt.
So how come you're digging right there for?
Oh, nice.
Because
Man.
Darren's copper thing said so. His dowsing rod. Show him your dowsing rod.
Oh, the dowsing rod said right there. All right. Cool.
Yeah, there's a nice bench here. It's a pretty good distance. Not a lot of overburden or anything. Bedrock's right there. Looks good.
Nice. We'll see what you get. They're using a Royal. This one has a fan in there. It's got a fan that'll spin in there, and they run it by a leaf blower to push the air up in there. That's a different one than the one I'm using. So you see two totally different types of dry washers. One I'm using is a bellows. It runs on a 12-volt battery, and it just kind of has a pulley that goes around and sucks air up in and blows it up into the box, and it just kind of puffs. This one here uses the fan to spin around. It's got a counterweight on that fan that throws it out of balance. That's what causes the vibration. Tell you what, this desert out here, it's a beautiful place. The only thing I don't like about desert, summertime, I love summers out here. I don't like to be cold. Of course, I don't like to be hot either. But I'd rather be hot than cold. I can deal with the heat better than I can deal with the cold. The only thing I don't like about summers, though, is the frickin' bugs. There's more goddamn bugs out here, and everything lands on you because, you know, you're the only moisture within miles, and all these bugs, they sense that moisture, and they just come and they just land on you, and it gets annoying. But anyway, that's what you have to deal with out here. There's really not a lot of evidence. It looks like somebody's piled some rocks up right there. If you went down further in the wash or up the wash, you know, where the roads kind of drive right into the wash, you'll see more activities of digging. It seems like that's what people want to do. They just want to drive into the wash and throw their machines out and start to dig. And there's gold there, and you'll see where everybody's been digging at. But we're off the road. We just kind of made a new spot to come in here and testing out some new areas where people really haven't been before because there's no road. Once we keep coming in here, of course, we'll make a road, and then everybody else will start coming in here too. These guys down here, they're working way too hard. Dry washing can be hard work. Picking, I think, is the hardest of it all. That can wear your ass out.
Seems to be good right here.
I guess I'll fire this bad boy up and shovel me some dirt into here, and we'll see what I get when I pan it out. First thing I do when I dry wash, see, like this is some of my tailings from last time. I threw this stuff up in there too first. And what I really did is just kind of filled the riffles all full because they work better once all of the riffles are full. If I start just shoveling my good material into there, I have a chance of losing some of that, is just blowing that stuff off. So I want to just kind of prime my box, I guess you could say, before I start shoveling the good stuff in there. Well, one thing, it runs on a 12-volt battery, but if your battery goes dead, these things do have a little hand cranker that you can put on there and crank it. So I bring that just in case my battery goes dead and I got to finish the job, but that's nothing you want to sit and do for a long period of time, hand cranking. That you'll get your exercise. Show you this gold. There's a piece right there on top coming down. And there was a few runs, but that's not bad. I'll do a better cleanup once I get back to camp. That's not bad for a few little bit I ran. And you can see where these guys are digging at. And it looks like it's came down in through here and it's hit this bedrock right here. Once it hit that bedrock, it just kind of eddied right in there, and it just kind of swirled right there, and then all piled up right there. And that's where them guys are digging at. They're getting some decent gold right there too. We did a lot of work right through here, it looks like. I don't know where all that came from. We've been dry washing right there. We've been dry washing right there and right there. This here is a recirculator that they had. You can tell it's more of a mud daub. It's kind of a hard pack. They used water and they recirculated. Gold does recovery. You get better gold recovery with water than you do with air, that's for sure. But man, that's a lot of water you got to haul out here to accomplish that. They must have been getting something. See, they didn't fill this in, but they filled this back in a little bit. So there could be something in there. If a person wanted to dig some more. Now you can see where it came down through here, and then it just kind of came this way. So once you could just keep digging this whole bench out right here. Quartz all over the place. This white powder stuff, that's caliche. Right here, this here, that's the caliche layer. That's what generally a lot of people will dig down to, is the hard pack. Is that once you hit that white powdery caliche, you pretty well stop. And of course, there's your trumpet plants. They grow in mineralized soil, mineralization. So it just means the soil is mineralized. And of course, gold likes mineralization. See how this kind of looks whitish, kind of a caliche, powdery stuff right there. Don't forget these little runoffs, these little rivulets. They're all feeders that feed right into the big washes. Coming down, there's all these trumpet plants all the way down this little feeder wash. Gold doesn't come in the washes. It comes from up above on the hills and works its way down into the washes. Over time, erosion and weathering and watering brings it all down into these washes. And that's a sign of a metal detector right there. So somebody's been up here doing some little bit of metal detector. That right there is a rat's nest. And those right there are old mining claim signs. Well, it's starting to get a little warm for me here, so I'm going to head back to the campground and get something nice and cold to drink. So anyway, I'll show you the gold I got. Once I get back, I'll clean that up and I'll show you all the gold that I got. These bigger washes, once the gold hits in these big washes, it gets widely dispersed and it tends to go deeper. So I tend to stay out of these larger washes. I like the smaller, thin little washes. You know, it is hard to try to figure out how this area was laid out, you know, thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, when the gold was kind of being moved around. Gold is always being moved around, but how was it, you know, when we had a lot of rains and stuff like that there through here? There's a lot of bedrock right through here that you see. Looks like quartz stingers. If you're walking up and down some of these little washes like that, and you see, you know, like one side might be rocks and bedrock, and another side might just be dirt. I tend to stay out of that dirt just because, you know, dirt is just like muck, a mud. Gold travels with the heavy, so I like to stay with the heavier side, and that's the bit larger rocks. Big rocks, big gold. You see that? See all that bedrock right there? If there's any nuggets that got trapped in there, they'd fall down in there, but generally what happens, that gets washed down and it hits right there, the slick spot, and then it hits there and it just kind of, so you see smaller gravels right there, and then you get down over here and you start to see a little bit bigger gravels, and then you get over there and you see the big rocks. Kind of like a waterfall, you know, when it first comes down, it has that blowout, and then it starts to settle out at the end of that there. So their bigger gold should be where all these big rocks have gathered in at. One thing you got to be aware of out here in the desert, especially summertime, everything bites you, pricks you, pokes you, stings you. So you always got to be looking on the ground and bushes and everything. They got some sharp bushes that just grab a hold of you, make you bleed. Well, this is the gold that I got. So I'm going to go through this here, show you. A lot of black sands in there. It's scattered throughout there. I mean, you know, it's nothing major, but it is gold. Now, What do you do when you got all that black sands in there? Well, one thing, when you pan it back, just go back and forth. You can reach in and you can feel the heavier, the bigger rocks. Drag them out of there. Your BBs and your lead shots and any rocks. Go ahead and drag them on out. Keep tapping. The heavy gold goes on up there to the top. Now this is has a drop bottom in there, so drop bottoms don't really work that great. Then what you can do is make sure there's no gold in there, and you go back and you just kind of keep doing that, kind of go up and down, and you can drag that black sand away. Now it's kind of tedious, but if you keep doing this here, you can get rid of all that black sand, and that heavy gold will stay up there at the top. But you just keep doing that there. The black sands will go down, and you pan that out, make sure there's no gold in that black sands. Do that again, and then just kind of go back and forth. See all these heavy little rocks and that. BBs, get rid of them, pull them out of there. Okay, just kind of go up and down. Up and down, up and down. And you slowly, just very gently light. You see the black sands comes down and that heavy gold stays up at the top. But if you do that long and hard enough, and say keep tapping, get the gold back towards the top, let that black sand come down. It's tedious, but if you do that enough, real gentle, you pull all that black sand down and it will leave the heavy gold up there. So anyways, let me show you, give you a better picture of what that looks like. And of course, once you get it all up where you want it, you got these sniffer bottles there that you can just suck all of that up there. What you do is you make sure there's water in there, squirt any water out. Always do stuff over the gold pen. Put it over the thing and then release it and let it just suck that gold up. You make sure you got it all. Now if I keep doing that also, I can keep getting the gold and leaving that black sand there. Squirt out the excess water and just get in there. See, I'm getting sands and all because I'll later clean this up. But as you can see, I think I got all the gold. Maybe a little flick right there, I'll suck up right there. Okay, the gold is all gone. Other methods you can use to get rid of some of that fine gold, you can use a spiral wheel. This will work. It just rotates it, and there's a cup on the back of there that all the gold just comes back to the back of the cup there. Spiral pans, these have to be basically at a 45 right here, how you got that set. Right amount of spray water just above there. The other method is a blue bowl. Blue bowl, this has to be classified down to about, maybe a 30 mesh. It's uniform, everything's got to be the same. Water flow's got to be right at the top, and basically you're just spooning it in with teaspoons at a time. Your other method, of course, is a retort and mercury, whatever you feel comfortable with. These are really the methods of getting the gold to help you. This is more for really fine gold, and this here is more for fine gold too. Anything you can pick out, you can just pick it out and then use, if you want to play with one of these methods here. This is more like a panner. You can just put your concentrates right in here. Once you classify them down to maybe a 1/4 inch, and let this here clean it out. Main classifiers that you'd want to pick up, this here's a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch. Those are really the only two that I think that you'll need. Some people use less than a 1/4. That's pretty fine. If you want to go down to like an 1/8, it's a lot of finer sand that you're going to have to pan out. But what will happen, the 1/4 is your number one classifier to use. Now, if you're out in the desert and the dirt tends to be a little bit wetter, and you're using a 1/2 inch, the dirt will adhere to the sides, and it basically is creating a 1/4 inch. So that's why I say a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch are really your main ones that you'll want to use on classifiers. Well, that's a little bit of gold. Not bad for what I ran, but anyways, hopefully that you guys liked the video. If you did, please share, subscribe, like, would appreciate that. So anyways, maybe next time we'll break down and we'll show you how to get rid of the black sands from the gold using the Desert Fox or the Blue Bowl. Anyways, till then, next time, you guys all be safe out there. Have yourself a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you guys all later. See you, bye.